Hey everyone, welcome back to AIM TV. I'm Topher Morrison. Today I ask a very important question. Where is Ellis Island? Comprehensive immigration reform passed the Senate, but other than the fact that it looked incredibly unconstitutional, violating the origination clause, which holds revenue bills must originate in the House of Representatives, House Republicans won't vote for it anyway and will abandon the massive Senate immigration bill, also known as Obamacare's 1,200-page legislative cousin, in favor of a series of smaller measures, reports Fox News. But what are the arguments here in the first place? What are the arguments for and against immigration? Everyone is familiar with the secure the borders first argument, to say nothing of the fact that migration from Mexico is at zero or lower. This raises the question, did Lady Liberty put on a few extra lbs, or has our government been now seen as corrupt as Mexico's? Perhaps we should get to the bottom of that before we start pretending we're the hottest thing since Ellis Island. But with securing the border right away, the question would have to be, when has any border in history been secure? And what does secure mean? Does it mean a vote from Congress deeming it to be? Some think it does. Or does it mean not one illegal crossing? In both instances, the prospects are a little absurd. Now, the Senate's bill, albeit dead on arrival, included the militarization of the border, doubling the Border Patrol, larger than the FBI, drones, virtual fences, and even included laser-mounted canines. Yeah, no joke. It's amazing what they'll come up with. Okay. All while Americans are focused on Latinos. In your mind, that's what you're thinking. Latinos, not Canadian. So let's say we secure the border as expensively and as effectively as the Ming Dynasty did against invading Manchus. Sorry, I can't stop. To be fair, we're way ahead of the abacus and stone walls, especially using humans as mortar. But seriously, what are the other concerns here in immigration? Undue entitlements, massive liberal voting rolls, drugs and crime, language enclaves, and bizarre mini-states of the sort that cripple social cohesion in France? Wait. Are we talking about French Canadians or the brown people? Yes, we're talking about brown people still. Anyway, Republican concerns are summed up by Daniel Allett, writing for the Christian Science Monitor. Quote, one Republican sticking point is that prospective law doesn't go far enough to ensure that immigrants integrate into American society to become productive, contributing members who uphold American values and are civically engaged. Now, coming from a conservative, isn't it hard to argue integration while simultaneously arguing individuality and personal responsibility? Isn't it the idea that these people bring new perspectives, talents, and tastes? First-generation immigrants will never integrate the way their grandchildren and children will. But the thing is, even the first generation beat the pants off natives on a civics portion of the naturalization test. Over a third of Americans failed, while nearly 98% of immigrants passed. At the very least, we need these guys at the 4th of July barbecue next year and history classes around America. But maybe we need them to teach and enforce law too. Allett points out to a 2010 Cato Institute report stating, quote, U.S.-born men have an institutionalization rate that is 10 times higher than that of foreign-born men. Now, that might be a surprise to many of you. You would think conservatives would be tearing down the walls instead of raising them, considering immigrants' rates of religiosity are higher than native-born Americans. Allett reminds us also that broken homes are reduced by migrant population. While 39% of births to native-born Americans are to unwed mothers, just 24% of births are to foreign-born mothers. Moreover, their children are more likely than the general population to have a bachelor's degree and are more likely to start a business as well. And while almost half of native-born Americans believe the growing number of newcomers threaten traditional American values, as Daniel Allett points out, they're dead wrong. So to my initial question, where is the Ellis Island of the 21st century? Over one-third of the U.S. population can trace their lineage back to this island in upper New York Bay. But somewhere along the line, native-born Americans wanted to socially engineer the demographic aesthetic of this country. Ironically, you could call it America's first affirmative action program. In the words of the State Department Office of the Historian, the goal of limiting Asians, Southern Europeans, and Jews was to, quote, preserve the ideal of American homogeneity. Now, I thought here in America, We were different, not the same. Capturing every quarter of the alternative media, watch AMTV News Monday through Friday. Got a tip or an interesting news clip? Shoot me an email at tophermorrison@amtvmedia.com. Follow me on Twitter at AMTV News and like me on Facebook at The Real Topher Morrison. Find my source material and more videos like these at AMTV Media and greenwave.com. Both are part of the AMTV network. This is AMTV News, the voice of independence.